Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
"What's happening, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And it is time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. That's right, we are looking at the collected editions coming out in February of 2024. So join me. And welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be looking at the upcoming collected editions for the month of February of 2024. And before I go any further, please don't forget to smash that like button. That goes a long way for us here on the channel. It's a very small thing you can do, but it means the world to us. And a big thank you to my buddy Aaron Cobbs for helping me put together the list of Marvel and DC books. I so appreciate that because this video is a beast to put together. So we've got 4 weeks this month, and what I like to always remind people is that there might be some delay, so keep that in mind. And if you're interested in a written documentation of this, I do put that on our Patreon, and that starts at $1 a month. If you're interested in joining that, the link to the Patreon is in the description of the video. But yes, dates might change, something might be delayed, but they've been, all the publishers have been doing a hell of a job lately to make sure these books are coming on time as when they are solicited. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the week of February 6th. So the week of February 6th from the world of Marvel Comics, we have Captain America Epic Collection Twilight's Last Gleaming. This right here collects Captain America 431 to 443, Tales of Suspense #1, Avengers 386 to 388, and Captain America Collector's Preview. So this is the end of Mark Gruenwald's run on the Captain America character. And it was 10 years that he was on the book, and we are finally getting his final volume here. The cover there is by Mike Deodato Jr. The book is $44.99, and it has 480 pages. Spider-Man Ben Reilly Omnibus Volume 2. If you are subscribed to the channel, you may have already seen my overview of that particular reprint. This time around, it is $150 compared to $125 when he came out a few years back. 1,304 pages, collecting Sensational Spider-Man 4 through 11, Amazing Spider-Man 411 to 418, Spider-Man 68 to 75, Spectacular Spider-Man 234 to 241, Spider-Man Unlimited 12 and 14, Spider-Man Redemption 1 through 4, Daredevil 354, Spider-Man Team Up 4 through 5, Spider-Man Revelations trade paperback. That's just the intro pages. They added a couple of pages to the trade paperback of the 4-issue storyline. Spider-Man The Osborn Journal, Spider-Man 101 Ways to End the Clone Saga, and Spider-Man Dead Man's Hand. So both covers will be available the same day. Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando, Volume 2, Magnum Opus. And this is by Steve Orlando, but also Sarah Pichelli and Lorenzo Tameta, collecting issues 6 through 10 of the 2023 Scarlet Witch series. And that series has been freaking phenomenal if you haven't read it yet. If you're at all interested in Scarlet Witch or the WandaVision series, that series that by Steve Orlando has been freaking awesome. Marvel February 1964 Omnibus. Both covers available the same day. So this is continuing, of course, the tradition of the 1961, 1962, 1963 Omnibus. And now we have the celebration of Daredevil, 60 years. So collecting Daredevil #1, Amazing Spider-Man #12, Fantastic Four 26, Journey into Mystery 103, Kid Colt Outlaw 116, Millie the Model #120, Modeling with Millie #30, Patsy Walker 114, Strange Tales 120, and that's everything, not just the main characters that star in that series. So, more than just Doctor Strange, Tales of Suspense 53, Tales to Astonish 55, more than just Iron Man. Two Gun Kid 69, Avengers 5, Patsy and Hetty #94, Rawhide Kid 40, Sergeant Fury 7, and X-Men #5, 480 pages, $100. Magneto was right. That seems to be a t-shirt or a meme that's just kind of blown up and gotten out of hand. But hey, here we are. But it is J.M. DeMatteis and Todd Nauck. I'm a big fan of both of these creators, collecting Magneto 1 through 4. So I think this is set in the past, maybe, because just by looking at the costume, I haven't read it yet. Even though it comes out next week, it's in my... I think I've got that and Cult of Carnage to read for the next week, because I do these overviews every week. Cult of Carnage Misery. Okay, this is the other one I haven't read yet. So this collects Cult of Carnage Misery 1 through 5. Xavier Perzada and Francisco Mortarino. $17.99 for that trade paperback. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe Master Edition Omnibus Volume 1. And this collects material from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Master Edition 1 through 36. Now that is the complete series, but they are only focusing on the characters and teams from A to L. So that's what this particular omnibus will have. No mention of a volume 2 yet, but I hope it sells well enough to get that volume 2 out there. And Venom by Al Ewing volume 5 is coming out that first week of the month. And that is continuing the run by Al Ewing, who started it with Ram V, but Al Ewing has just been doing his own thing. Tarun Grombeck is coming in and helping co-write some of these stories. But this collects Venom 22 through 25. And Ramon Box is the artist on here. You do have covers by Brian Hitch. $17.99, 136 pages. And from the world of DC Comics, we have Superman vs. Meshi. Now, you're probably asking yourself, I have a manga category. Why didn't I add that in there? Because this is being published by DC, and it features DC characters. I would do the same thing with Marvel, unless it was published by Viz or Kodansha. Although, this is being co-published by Kodansha, and there goes my theory. So, I don't know, it's easier for me to put together Superman vs. Meshi. So continuing Superman, who's a foodie, and taking the whole Justice League with him. My co-host Wonder Manny loves this series. Satoshi Miyagawa and Kai Kitago, $9.99, 160 pages. We're not done with Satoshi Miyagawa, by the way, because he's also working with Keisuke Goto on Joker, One Operation Joker Volume 3. Another one that's 160 pages, $9.99. Creature Commandos presents Hell Yes. Yes, yes. By the way, I do my top 10 every Sunday. Come back for that. This book might be on there. Oh my gosh, I say that, then I change it. Just in case it's not on there, because this is a tough list to recommend. This is one of those hidden gems that nobody really talks about. It is not just by Grant Morrison, although they kickstart the series with Frankenstein, but it's mainly by Jeff Lemire, Doug Mahnke, and Alberto Ponticelli. This right here collects pretty much the first part of the Frankenstein Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, 1 through 7, set during the New 52. But it also contains the Seven Soldiers Frankenstein limited series, which is only 4 issues. That it was all part of the Seven Soldiers. It's in that omnibus. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad that DC is finally collecting this stuff properly, because we've had trades and they've been long out of print. And this is just such a fun series. If you were at all a fan of the Seven Soldiers Frankenstein, I think what Jeff Lemire was doing in the ongoing series was so much better. Loved it. So check it out. And that's the first one. We should have 2 volumes of that. Not done with manga yet, because we have Batman. Can't Omar talk pretty one day. All this stuff coming right out of Japan, man. Japan. Batman Justice Buster Volume 2, Eiichi Shimizu and Tomihiro Shimaguchi are the main creators behind this one. 192 pages, $9.99. And these are the tankobon size, so they're smaller scale. Night Terrors with a K by Joshua Williamson, Howard Porter, and Gilliam March are the main curators on this particular collection, collecting Night Terrors First Blood, Night Terrors 1 through 4, and Night Terrors Night's End. And this is pretty much the full main Night Terrors story. So 232 pages, $29.99, and it is a hardcover. And another hardcover, Peacemaker Tries Hard. I've not read this, but I am so looking forward to it. Kyle Starks is a very funny guy. I love Steve Pugh's artwork. So this collects the first 6 issues of the new Peacemaker series, and is 168 pages, $24.99. Icon vs. Hardware is finally coming out, And this is a hardcover of 192 pages containing the Icon versus Hardware by Reggie Hudlin and Leon Chills. And the Question Omnibus by Dennis O'Neil and Dennis Cohen, Volume 2. So this is the next volume, and it wraps up that era of the Question. I don't think there's anything else they can collect for a third volume. And the third probably, if they do a third volume, it would be another character. So that it won't be Vic Sage. It will be another character, and they have enough material for that character, for that particular Question, that is. So, yes, that one is coming out on February 6th or 7th, depending on where you get your books. And Static Shadows of the Coda. And that is by Vida Ayala, Nicolas Draper Ive. And it collects Static Season 2, 1 through 6. From the world of manga, we have Angel Next Door, Spoils Me Rotten. This is a book by Square Enix, Volume 1. And it is by Sekaizen and Hanekoto. And $12.99. Chainsaw Man. Man, my daughter loves this. Oh, my goodness. I think we're getting close to what could possibly be another box set. I know we're getting another box set of My Hero Academia coming out later this year. But no word yet on Chainsaw Man, the second box set. So this is volume 14, $11.99. And you probably have seen that a lot of the publishers have raised their prices recently. Dragon Ball Super Volume 20. My goodness, they just keep coming out. I love that cover, man. I know it's not Akira Toriyama, but man, that looks it. It is written by Akira Toriyama, and Toyota Ryu is the artist on the book. And also getting In the Name of Mermaid Princess, Volume 1. This is a brand new series and being published by Viz Comics. And Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Volume 4. So I know the titles get a little bit confusing because there's so many Persona games and manga based on the games, but this is Persona 4 based on the video game. Ultimax, Volume 4. This is being published by Udon. And Vinland Saga finally coming out in deluxe edition, Volume 1. And if you follow Walt's Comic Shop, they did a little short on it already because they got an early copy, so that's really awesome. Virgin Love, Volume 2 is coming out. This is being published by Vertical Comics. And Tina Yamashina is the mangaka behind it. Seems sweet, innocent. Gazing at Star Next Door, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that one is being published by Kodansha. As well as The Tree of Death, Yomatsu Hegui, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. Being published by Seven Seas Entertainment. Masumi Kakisaki is the mangaka behind that particular series. That one looks awesome. And we're also getting the Random Voos. Random Vo. Random Voos. Oh my gosh, how would you pronounce that? Because it's not a rendezvous, so I guess it's a Random Voo. There we go. Random Voo, Volume 2. Finally coming out, One Dimensional Couriers. And I put this under manga because it is being published by Udon Studios. And they put out a lot of great stuff. And this is one that's kind of like in-house because it's Jeffrey Cruz Chambra that is doing it. Or Jeffrey Chambra Cruz is the creator behind this. This is Volume 2. Volume 1 came out like in my goodness, it was like 2018 when Volume 1 came out. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we're getting Creepy Archives Volume 5. And this collects the Creepy Magazine issues 21 through 25. This is the softcover edition. 224 pages, $24.99. From IDW, we're getting My Little Pony Volume 3, Cookies, Conundrums, and Crafts by Casey Gilly and Robin Easter, $9.99, 120 pages, collecting issues 11 through 15 of the ongoing My Little Pony series. I don't give a crud what anybody says about My Little Pony. That will always remind me of my time with my oldest daughter and collecting her first comic. It was a comic that she chose, and she had issues like 1 through 75. It was a beautiful time. It was the one that she chose, and now she's moved on to other things. She's currently reading X-Men God Loves, Man Kills, and Judge Dredd. I'm really proud of her. Deadly Class Compendium. Looks like it was delayed and coming out the first week of February. This contains all 56 issues. I think this made it into my top 10, but just in case it didn't, this is a phenomenal series. And all of the issues, plus the free comic book day one-shot, are collected in here. It is by Rick Remender and Wes Craig. It's all set in 1987. It is phenomenal. I've always compared it to Game of Thrones meets Naruto, Harry Potter. But it's a School of Assassins. Oh, it's so good. And Rat Queen's Omnibus has also been pushed back until the first week of February, collecting Rat Queens Volume 1, 1 through 15, Rat Queens Volume 2, issues 1 through 25, and the Sister Warriors Queens. Also collected for the very first time is issue number 16, which has never been reprinted. So that one's $125. That one I think that was in my top 10, top 11, whatever I did at the beginning of the year. Spawn Shadows is coming out, collecting issues 316 to 323 of Spawn. Todd McFarlane and Carlo Barberi are the main creators behind that. Untold Tales of I Hate Fairyland, Volume 1. Written by Scotty Young, but you have artwork in here from Gabriel Ba and Fabio Moon, Jorge Corona, Aaron Conley, Morgan Beam, $16.99. Oh my gosh, I hope that makes it into a hardcover collection. And Weird Work. So this is by Jordan Thomas and Shaky Kane, collecting Weird Work 1 through 4. From the world of Boom Studios, this is when we're getting the final volume of Giant Days Library Edition, in case you didn't kick-started. Volume 7, collecting Giant Days 49 through 54, and As Time Goes By. I still have Volume 6 and 7 to read, so I need to get on that. Aya is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by Drawn and Quarterly. And Disney, Mickey Mouse, and Donald Fantastic Future Classic Tales is coming out from Fantagraphics. And, oh, I love that cover. Oh, man. Francesco Artibani and Lorenzo Pastrovicchio. Love that cover. That is a beautiful cover. Definitely going to get that. Frank Johnson, Secret Pioneer of American Comics, Trade Paperback Volume 1 is coming out, also from Fantagraphics. And Gaytheist is coming out in graphic novel format. That is from Street Noise Books by Lonnie Mann. And Geronimo. Geronimo Stilton, Reporter 3-in-1 Volume 4 is coming out. And that is being published by Paper Cuts. Of course, Mad Cave and Paper Cuts kind of came together to start publishing books. So I love that they're still around. And we're also getting the Hypericum from Fantagraphics. Interesting cover there. And from the world of... Oh, I Can Read Comics. I love these. These are ones that I used to take to my English as a second language for these kids that were... They were primarily Latin American kids in this class when I volunteered. I need to go back and do that. That was a lot of fun. But I would take books like this in there. But this is I Can Read Comics, Friend Bots, Blink and Block, Build a Fort. And there's also the Fix It Snells Needs Help. They're adorable. And whatever gets kids to read comics. Judge Dredd, Complete Case Files, Volume 20 is coming back to print. So those are the ones that they're trying to keep in evergreen. So from time to time, you'll see a Judge Dredd book being put back here, or added to the list that's being put back to print. Dynamite is releasing NYX Trade Paperback Volume 2, Family Matters. And nothing to do with the NYX Laura character, but this is by Christos Gage and Mark Borstel and Gibo Vijonte. And we're also getting Red Sonja from Dynamite Volume 2, Mother, coming out that very same week. Unless, like I said, there's some delays. And Wildful is coming out, and that book is done in a landscape format that is published by Groundwood Books. Wine Ghost Goes to Hell. What, like, would you send your wine ghost there? By Sage Coffee. Iron Circus Comics is publishing that particular book. And Zips and Elo Make Hummus is coming out that very same week. As well as A Simple Truth And that is being published by Amaze Inc., Slave Labor Graphics. And Kevin Sacco is the main creator behind that particular book. We're getting the Amulet 1 through 9 box set. I've talked about it for the books for kids. If you have kids or are trying to read comics, that's definitely one. As well as Volume 9 coming out separately, Wave Rider. Art Club is coming out in a hardcover format and in a graphic novel format. And we're also getting Curses that very same week. Getting a lot of books this particular week. And Door to Door, Night by Night is coming out. And that is being published by Vault Comics. It's a story by Colin Bunn and Sally Catarino. And Fall Through is coming out from Abrams Comics Arts by Nate Powell, both the writer and the artist on the particular book. Forever Forward is coming out from Scout Comics, as well as Here Comes Calico, the Ultimate Defender of Animals. And this, I got to give a shout out to these guys, H.H. Herman and Javier Oravich. These guys have been publishing this book for a few years now. I got to talk to them. This is volume 1 of the trade, by the way. I got to talk to them at New York Comic Con, and they were so friendly. They were giving me a free copy of it. And it's all about, ending animal cruelty. And this is kind of their way of doing it. And now they're coming out with the trade paperback. Because I told them this was 2022, I think, when I got to talk to them, that if ever they do a trade paperback, let me know. And I just got an email from them a couple days ago. So there it finally is. The Pre-Code Classics, The Hawk, coming out in a hardcover format. And also in a slipcase format. And that is a volume 1. Now there is a difference in price. The hardcover is $52.99. The slipcase is $62.99. Silver Age Classics Gorgo is coming out in a hardcover format, as well as a slipcase format. So that's another one, $52.99 or $62.99. And Smurfs Tales, hardcover volume 8, Smurfs and Sorcerer's Love is coming out, both in a hardcover and a softcover trade paperback. The hardcover is $19.99, the softcover is $14.99. Sunny Makes Her Case is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Graphics. And Tales of Asunda is coming out that very same week. That is being published by Stranger Comics. And this is by Sebastian A. Jones and Iga Oliwiak. Now, if you live in Canada and are interested in purchasing some of these books, check out our first sponsor. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $200 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
The week of February 13th or 14th, hey, Valentine's Day, you're going to be seeing a lot of red here, starting with the Spider-Verse. So yeah, take your lady or your dude to a comic book store, pick up some comics. No better way to celebrate it, baby. Spider-Verse Across the Multiverse. This is a collection of Edge of Spider-Verse 1 through 5, the 2014 series, Edge of Spider-Verse, the 2022 5-issue miniseries, and then Edge of Spider-Verse, the 2023 4-issue miniseries. So you are going to have a bunch of different creators through here with a lot of first appearances. The book is $44.99, and it has 416 pages. Spider-Woman by Pacheco and Perez. This is the story of Spider-Woman that collects issues 1 through 21 in its entirety. And available for the first time in a big, thick book, 496 pages, $44.99. Carla Pacheco, Pere Perez, Paulo Siqueira, and Matia De Lulis. Luke Cage Epic Collection, the fire this time, not the first this time. And this collects Power Man 24 through 47 and annual number 1. So ending Luke Cage Hero for Hire, and then eventually kicking off the Luke Cage and Iron Fist Hero for Hire series, which has already been collected in Epic Collection. Thunderbolts Red Omnibus. So this is the stuff that started off by Daniel Way, and eventually Charles Soule took over the book. Steve Dillon doing some of the early artwork, collecting Thunderbolts 1 through 32. And then the Thunderbolts annual number 1 from 2013, $100, 744 pages. X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday, Mark Guggenheim and Manuel Garcia writing this particular series and collecting the 4-issue miniseries, $15.99 and 112 pages. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest by Ann Nocenti and Paolo Villanelli, collecting the 5-issue Dark Tempest miniseries, $17.99, 120 pages. And I haven't had a chance to read that one, but I did read the Storm issues that she did. Red Goblin Volume 2, Nature Nurture by Alex Pacnadel, Jan Basuldua, and Chris Campana, collecting Red Goblin issues 6 through 10. Marvel Unleashed, Kyle Starks, Jesus Hervas. This is $15.99, collecting the 4-issue miniseries. From the world of DC Comics, we have Batman and Robin by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, Book 1. This is the thick trades that they're kicking off with Batman by Patrick Gleason and Peter J. Tomasi. So this has Batman and Robin 20 through 22, and then the relaunch during the New 52, Batman and Robin 0 through 14. 400 pages, $39.99. They seem to be an epic size. They even write it that they wrote it as an epic size story. Don't know if the volume number will be in the back or not. Night Terrors Dark Nightmares, $39.99 for this hardcover. It is a standard size hardcover. 344 pages, and collecting Night Terrors Batman 1 and 2, Night Terrors Detective Comics 1 and 2, the Catwoman 1 and 2, Nightwing 1 and 2, and Night Terrors Robin 1 and 2. Batman The Adventures Continues, Season 3. This is the stuff that collects after the Omnibus edition. So this is Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, Ty Templeton, and collects issues 1 through 7, $19.99, 192 pages. And Batman Detective Comics, Volume 2, Gotham Nocturne, Act 1. Love that cover. That's Rafael Albuquerque, and Ron B is the writer on that series, collecting Detective Comics issues 1066 to 1069, 232 pages, $29.99. From the world of manga, we have 365 Days to Wedding. That's a year. Math. Fairy Tail Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out. This is the way they're collecting Fairy Tail now. They've done box sets. They've done the original tankobons. They did the discontinued big, beautiful series. And now they're doing them in omnibus format. Alpi Soul Sender Volume 2. This was a fun series. I got to read the first one. This is published by Titan Manga. And I really enjoyed the first one. It was really cute. It kind of reminded me a little bit of... Oh my goodness, what is the Fox? What was the name of the Fox series? Or, actually, it reminded me of the Aqua and Aria manga too. Oh, now it's gonna... Spice and Wolf, not Fox. That was it. Getting older, man. Getting older, I need to start writing things down. Fire Force Omnibus, Volume 8, collecting volumes 22 through 24. And Osamu Tezuka's 100 Tales. I really thought this was already out, but this might be a restock. And if it's a restock, why the hell didn't I order it? It's the god of manga we're talking about. Status Royale is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Viz Media. Character looks like a fighter from Street Fighter. EX, that's what it was called. World War III, Raid on Tokyo. Now, this is being published by the folks at Antarctic Press, and this is by Motofumi Kobayashi. $24.99 for that. And it's another collection of the alternate history action from Combat Master Motofumi Kobayashi. Oh, it's the Cat S one. Cat S as in like SHIT. but I ain't even saying that word because I know how YouTube doesn't even play around anymore. From the world of IDW that very same week, we're getting Star Trek Deep Space Nine, The Dog of War by Mike Chan, Angel Hernandez. This is a paperback, 136 pages, and it collects that particular miniseries in its entirety. Mary Tyler Moorhawk, nice, by Dave Baker. It's a hardcover, 276 pages. And from Image Comics, we're getting Antarctica Volume 1 by Simon Burks and Willie Roberts, and collecting issues 1 through 5 of these ongoing series. Aerosmith, so smart in their fine uniforms. This is collecting Aerosmith Volume 1, 1 through 6. So you are going to see Carlos Pacheco's wonderful art through here. Jose Villarrubia recoloring a lot of the stuff with Alex Sinclair. Jesus Merino providing the inks. If you've not read it, if you haven't had a chance to read it, it is phenomenal. And finally, time after time, I've actually seen Walter Simonson hold up a copy that Howard Chaykin sent him, but coming out on February 14th, Valentine's Day, finally, is Time Squared, the Omnibus. So this has been, it got canceled, it got resolicited, and then got delayed, but it is finally coming out. We're getting the Power Rangers Archive Deluxe Edition coming out that very same week. This is the older classic stuff that collects the Power Rangers Volumes 1 and 2, Power Rangers Saga 1 through 3, Power Rangers The Marvel Comics 1 through 7, Power Rangers Ninja Rangers 1 through 5, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Image Comic one-shot of Zeo. All collected in one big book, $75. So it's the classic stuff that happens before they went over to Boom Studios. And we're also getting Something is Killing the Children Volume 7. So James Tynion and Werther Dell'Edera continuing the series, issues 31 through 35, and in trade paperback format. Alice Ever After is coming out in a trade paperback format, speaking of trade paperbacks. And we're also getting the Ablaze Artist Spotlight Bastien Vives Collected Edition that is being published by Ablaze Publishing. And we're also getting the Best of 2000 AD. We're finally getting a Volume 5 of that. There's a total of 6 of these that they're going to do. And we're also getting the Black Myths Volume 2, Key to His Heart. This is being published by Ahoy Comics. Eric Palicki and Wendell Cavalcanti are the main creators behind that, and that collects the next 5 issues of the second series. The Complete Dick Tracy hardcover Volume 5, 1937 to 1938, is coming out, and that is being published now by Clover Press. Conquest Julius Caesar, The Gaelic Wars, coming out from Black Panel Press, and this is by Tarek Ben Yaklef and Vincent Pompetti, and this is $34.99, and it is a softcover trade paperback. I Run to Make My Heart Beat. It's coming out that very same week, and that I think I remember hearing about this one. This is by Rachel Kahn and Adu Masot. Where did I remember reading about this one somewhere. Metabaron's second cycle finale hardcover coming out that very same week from Humanoids, as well as Metabaron's The Complete Second Cycle trade paperback published by Humanoids. And that one is $49.99, and that is a softcover. Nina Simone in Comics. This is an interesting book published by NBM by Sophie Adrianson. And this is the story of an emancipation, that of a young black and poor woman living in America marked by segregation. This is the story of a fierce battle, and it's showing her long career and as a unique artist and role model and inspiration for generations to come. Genius pianist, fabulous singer, and committed artist. She remains an inspiration for generations. I remember watching the documentary on her, oh my gosh, 20-something years ago, and just finding her so fascinating. It's really cool that now we have comics to get people to, find out about these historical, wonderful people. Patriotica. Patriotica? Patriotica. Why did I have such a hard time pronouncing that? Patriotica United is coming out. This is volume 2, published by Antarctic Press. That took way too long to say. Anyway, Red Sonja, Red Sitha trade paperback is coming out. And we're also getting The Great Gatsby. And that graphic novel, an illustrated graphic novel, is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that's being published by the folks at Clover Press. We're also getting The Happy Shop. That is coming out in a trade paperback format, published by Oni Press. And Viewfinder is coming out in a hardcover format from Tundra Books. Tolkien Lighting Up the Darkness is coming out that very same week. And we're also getting The Amazing Camel Toe that is being published by Black Panel Press. Atlas Comics Library hardcover volume 1 Adventures into Terror is coming out that very same week from Fantagraphics. This is $34.99. Bjorn trade paperback volume 1 is coming out. It's The Littlest Viking. If you haven't had a chance to read it, it is a wonderful little series that, and little is not in any demeaning way. He kickstarted it. Ben is a wonderful creator, and yes, it is very reminiscent of Calvin and Hobbes, but oh my gosh, it's so good. Being published by Red 5 Comics, and Ben Bender's just a hell of a creator, just putting stuff out there, putting his own stuff out there. And the first book, I did an overview on the channel many years ago, and it is just phenomenal. Now it's coming out in trade paperback format in case you missed that hardcover. Black Hops is coming out that very same week. USA, GI Bound for Battle. And that is being published by the folks over at Antarctic Press. And I assume it's very tongue-in-cheek if you're going to have a rabbit on the cover. And it's called Black Ops. Blade Runner 2039 trade paperback volume 2 upgrade is coming out that very same week from the folks over at Titan Comics. Bunt Striking Out on Financial Aid is coming out both in a hardcover and in a softcover format. And Call Me Iggy is also coming out in a hardcover and a softcover format, and that is published by First Second Books. Conan the Barbarian, all 3 covers. I had the privilege and the honor to get to read this before it came out. If you're a fan of Conan, is all I can say. My video will be dropping sometime, hopefully this weekend. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I'll save it for the video. I thought about doing a tease on TikTok. I may still. It's so good. Dreaming Eagles trade paperback is coming out. This is being published by Aftershock Comics. And we're also getting the Beowulf coming out. And this is Volume 1, Monsters in Middle School. So, obviously... Oh, wait. Sorry. Aowulf, not Beowulf. How dare I? Aowulf is coming out. The Fall of House Usher is coming out that very same week. And that is coming in a hardcover format. And we're also getting the Firebugs coming out in hardcover format. And that same week is Fire Hose of Falsehood, Story of Disinformation. That is being published by First Second Books. And Fox Maidens is coming out in a hardcover and a softcover format by Balzer and Bray. And that is by Robin Ha, but she is the creator on the book. And Freshman Year is coming out in a softcover format. In a hardcover format by Christy Ottaviano Books. And that is by Sarah May, both the writer and artist on the book. And Influenza is coming out in a trade paperback format from Silver Sprockets. And we're also getting the pop-up hardcover coming out. And that is being published by the folks at Blood Moon Comics. And to wrap up that week is The Mexican. That is coming out in a trade paperback format from Tinta Books by Jack London and Edu Molina. Now, if you live in the EU, check out our next sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Waltz Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of February 20th, or 21st, from Marvel Comics, we have Daredevil Epic Collection, A Woman Called Widow. This is the new printing, collecting issues 64 to 86 of Daredevil and Iron Man 35 through 36. Roy Thomas and Gene Colan, as well as some Gil Kane in there, and Jerry Conway. $49.99, 512 pages. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider Modern Era Epic Collection, Weapon of Choice. And this one here collects Spider-Gwen from 2015, 9 through 24. The Spider-Gwen Annual Number 1, All New Wolverine Annual Number 1, Spider-Man, the 2016 series, 12 through 14. $44.99, and it has 496 pages. Marvel Masterworks, The Invincible Iron Man, Volume 17. And both the direct market and the standard edition cover available the same day, collecting Iron Man 171 to 182 and Annual Number 6. Dennis O'Neil, Peter Gillis, Luke McDonnell, and Bob Harris, that particular era. $75, 352 pages. Black Panther by Christopher Priest, Omnibus, Volume 2. Both covers available the same day, and one is done by Sal Velluto, and the other one is by Liam Sharp. So that one will probably make it in my top 10 list. Just saying. Jean Grey, Flames of Fear. Wheezy coming back to a character that she hasn't written in a long time, but Louise Simonson with Bernard Chang, and collecting Jean Grey issues 1 through 4. Children of the Vault. Denise Camp and Luca Maresca, collecting Children of the Vault 1 through 4. These are characters, of course, that were created by Mike Carey during his run on X-Men. And we're also getting Blade, Mother of Evil. So this is Volume 1 by Brian Hill and Elena Casagrande. And collecting Blade, the 2023 series, 1 through 5. From the world of DC Comics, Milestone Compendium Book 3 finally coming out. And this collects Death Wish 1 through 4, Blood Syndicate 24 through 27, Hardware 22 to 28, Icon 22 to 27, Static 21 through 25, Shadow Cabinet 5 through 13, and Cobalt 1 through 14. 1,208 pages, $59.99. You're going to find in here the work of Dwayne McDuffie, John Rosem, and Eric Battle, Matt Wayne, John Paul Leon, Humberto Ramos, just to name a few of the creators behind this book. Man, I know they're not omnis, but I'm so glad they're releasing those. So glad. Finally, we haven't had proper trades of them. The Kingdom, the 25th Anniversary Deluxe Edition is coming out. Now, this is one that people have asked me about. Why didn't they put it with the Kingdom Come Omnibus or the Thy Kingdom Come? Like, make it just a Kingdom Come collection. I can tell you part of the reason. And part of the reason is because both Mark Waid and Alex Ross didn't really agree with their versions of the Kingdom or Thy Kingdom Come. Their vision is just Kingdom Come, the original series. This was Mark Waid's follow-up. So without Alex Ross. This is done by Ariel Olivetti and Mike Zeck. This is going to be a deluxe edition of this 4-issue miniseries, 288 pages, and $49.99. But that's why they probably won't have, I don't know, maybe they will one day. But yeah, as a fan of Kingdom Come and Thy Kingdom Come, I also enjoyed this. But I also realized that Alex Ross didn't play a part in this particular story. Night Terrors, Nightmare League, coming out in a hardcover format, and collecting Night Terrors, Action Comics 1 and 2, Green Lantern 1 and 2, Superman 1 and 2, The Flash 1 and 2, and Wonder Woman 1 and 2. 368 pages, $39.99. Dark Knights, Death Metal, Omnibus coming out that same week. So here we have the Dark Knight's Death Metal, all 7 issues collected in this Omnibus, as well as the Death Metal Guidebook, the Death Metal Infinite Hour Extreme with 3 X's. That is very extreme. Death Metal Legends, Dark Knights 1, Death Metal Multiverse Ends 1, Death Metal Rise of the New Gods 1, Death Metal Robin King 1, Death Metal The Last 52 War of the Multiverses 1, Dark Knight's Death Metal The Multiverse Who Laughs 1, and Death Metal The Secret Origin number 1, as well as Death Metal Trinity Crisis and Justice League 53 to 57. So Scott Snyder, Joshua Williamson, Sermanico, and Greg Capullo. $125, 968 pages. And from the world of manga, we have a lot this week. We have a lot I'm putting on the list. A Kingdom of Quartz. This is being published by Kodansha, by Nagato Yamata and Atsuhi Suzumi. And $13.99. Akko and Bambi are coming out, and this is by Hero. $15, and that is being published by Yen Press. And Beast Rings Volume 1 is coming out that same week, being published by Yen Press, by Shikaku Yamamoto, both the writer and artist. So the mangaka on this particular book. This one is $20 for Volume 1. And Get Schooled Volume 1 is coming out that same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Ablaze. We're also getting the God Bless the Mistaken Volume 1. And published by Yen Press. That one is $13. And Hero in the Demon's Castle Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. I love that cover. That is being published by Dempa Books. Inotoki and Syohei are the creators behind that. I don't know, I get like a Go Nagai feel from that cover. If Villainous and Villain Met and Fell in Love Volume 1 is coming out. That is the plot of that story, of course. And we're also getting Lovely Muko Volume 4 coming out that same week. And that is being published by the folks at Vertical Comics, and that cover just cracked me up. Reincarnated into a Game as Heroes Friends is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at 7 Seas Entertainment. And that cover is so badass, by Yuki Suzuki and Ranpei Ashio. It's a very Demon Souls look to it. Taking Care of God Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Yen Press. Love that cover. Colors, wow. No, I say colors and then, it's black and white. But you're missing out if you can't read black and white. And I get it. Some people can't. Unholy Blood Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Easy Press. And we're also getting Whoever Steals This Book Volume 1. Now you're just asking somebody to steal the book. But that is being published by Yen Press, and we're also getting the Blood Blade Volume 1. And that is coming out over at Kodansha Comics. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have Eerie Archives Volume 4. This collects issues 16 through 22. Again, this is the softcover formats. That's the way they're reprinting these particular books. Skull and Bones Savage Storm is coming out by John Jackson Miller and James Mischler. That's some phenomenal creators. Collects Skull and Bones 1 through 3. The Art of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That is coming out in a hardcover format. The Art of System Shock in hardcover format. And Takio in trade paperback format. That is a book by Brian Michael Bendis. And since that's where he's publishing all his stuff, this is coming out from Dark Horse and Michael Avon Oeming. And $19.99 from the creators of Miles Morales. Or the creator of Miles Morales. But it's also the creators of Powers. They should have gone with that route. And we're also getting from the world of IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reborn, Volume 8, Damage Done. Collecting issues 140 to 144 and the 2023 annual. Sophie Campbell and Michael Walsh, as well as Gavin Smith and Santos, are the creators. I think we have one more trade paperback before the relaunch with Jason Aaron. From the world of Image Comics, we have the Complete Invincible Library Volume 1, the new printing, collecting Invincible 0 through 24. Now, these are bigger than the deluxe edition. They're tall. They're like the Spawn hardcovers. Invincible 0 through 24, and Image Comics Summer Special number 1 excerpt. And Spawn Origins, speaking of Spawn, Volume 28, David Hine, Brian Aberlin, and this is collecting issues 167 to 172 of Spawn. Time Before Time, Rory McConville and the Clan Shalvey. This is collecting Time Before Time. Oh, Declan. I had him on the show. I could not remember that. Collecting Time Before Time, issues 25 through 29. And Void Rivals. Boy, that was a big hit. Collecting issues 1 through 6. More than meets the eye. And it certainly was for a lot of people that weren't expecting that one at comic stores. Robert Kirkman, Lorenzo De Felici, and Matthias Lopez. From the world of IDW, we're getting Grimm, Volume 3. And that is by Stephanie Phillips and Flaviano, the main creators on that particular book. And Blackula Return of the King is coming out in a hardcover format that is being published by Zombie Love Studios. The Complete Crepex, Volume 8, Erotic Stories Part 2. That Near Mint Condition sticker does not come with the book. Asterix Omnibus, Volume 11 is coming out from Paper Cuts. And we're also getting Crusader. This is a series a lot of my viewers have been talking about. This is one that's published by the folks over at Mad Cave Studios. And it is by Matt Emmons. He's both drawing and writing this. And I kind of didn't want to know anything going on, so I just want to read it, so I can't wait to read that book. Disturbed Dark Messiah is coming out that very same week. That is published by the folks over at Opus Comics. And we're also getting the First There Was Chaos. The Story of Creation is coming out that third week of February. And that is published by Uncivilized Books. And we're getting the Hex Americana. That's coming out in a trade paperback format that very same week. As well as Horizon Zero Dawn. So this is the Horizon Zero Dawn. I think this is a new cover. Published by Titan Comics. This is by Ann Toole and Ann Malina. And collecting Horizon Zero Dawn 1 through 4. So it's a comic adaptation. And Investigators Agents of Suit, Volume 2, From Badger to Worse, is coming out. And that is SUIT. So, not sure what that stands for. Let's see if we can find out together. No, we cannot. Published by First Second Books. Because I didn't see it there. And we're also getting the Largo Winch, Volume 20, Golden Percentile, is coming out that very same week by Cinebook. As well as Old Geezer's Collected Set. Shots fired. Blaze Publishing is putting this book out by Wilfred Lupano and Paul Coet. $34.99. So I think it's a slip. It looks like a slipcase. And we're also getting the Phantom, the Complete Dailies. Hardcover, Volume 32, 1986 to 1987. Pup Detectives, Volume 9, The Phishing Scam is coming out that very same week. I love the variety of books that are coming out. Just love the different, like, kids and adults only. Red Sonja, The She-Devil Sword Omnibus, Volume 5 is coming out from Dynamite. And we're also getting Sharp Wit and the Company of Women coming out that very same week. As well as the Solver's Book, Volume 1. Div Multi-Ray Dilemma Math coming out that week. And 0 Point is coming out in trade paperback format. And that is being published by the folks over at Alien Books, who have also been publishing the Valiant books. So this is kind of like their new imprint that they're coming out with. They have Manga coming out because Alien Books have been publishing books in Argentina. And I got to meet with them a couple weeks ago. Great group of folks. So hopefully I get to be announcing some really cool stuff in the future for them. The last week of the month, February 27th from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, Rise of the Sith, Volume 1. So this is the new printing. This book had been out of print for a while, and this collects Star Wars Jedi, The Dark Side, 1 through 5, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, The Orient Express, 1 and 2, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, Last Stand on Ord Mantell, 1 through 3, The Jedi Council, Acts of War, 1 through 4, material from Star Wars 4 through 6, material from Star Wars Tales, 1, 3 through 5, 7, 9 through 10, 13 and 14 and 24. $44.99, 488 pages. Ultimate Comics, Spider-Man, Death of Spider-Man Omnibus, both covers coming out. And this collects pretty much the remaining issues of Ultimate Spider-Man. And I've been asked this, one of the toughest questions I've been asked on the channel is, we know we're going to get a Volume 5. What does Volume 5 contain? That I don't know. I can tell you this one here contains Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 15, 150 to 160 when it was renumbered, Ultimate Comics Avengers vs. New Ultimates 1 through 6, and Ultimate Comics Fallout 1 through 6. I know that Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 5 is going to be mapped differently, and there's going to be a lot of double dipping. I mean, if I were to take a guess, it probably would not contain the Avengers vs. New Ultimates, that miniseries. And maybe it just would contain Ultimate Fallout, the important issues, because I don't want to spoil what happens, even though that title is a big spoiler. That's my guess, but because I'm not sure, right? We know it's coming, I just don't know when it's coming. So I wish, I had more news, but at least we know it's coming, so you can kind of, you can think about it, right? Do you want to go the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man Death of Spider-Man Omnibus now, or wait for Ultimate 5? But then, how long do you have to wait? It's all these questions as a fan, like, wait, what do you do? But this one is $100, 608 pages. Marvel Masterworks, Marvel 2-in-1, Volume 7, collecting Marvel 2-in-1, 75 to 82, annuals 5 and 6. 296 pages, $75. Both covers available the same day. Marvelverse, Mary Jane. So this collects Mary Jane number 1, Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane number 1, Untold Tales of Spider-Man 16, Amazing Mary Jane number 5, and material from many loves of the Amazing Spider-Man. So this is the digest-sized books, $9.99, 104 pages. Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, Volume 8, Spider-Man's First Hunt. Zeb Wells, Patrick Gleason, Ed McGuinness, and some cover in here by John Romita Jr., collecting Amazing Spider-Man 32 through 38. Moon Knight, City of the Dead. This is the David Pepose series with Marcelo Ferreira on artwork. And it is the I think it's 5-issue miniseries. I don't know if it's still ongoing or not. Please let me know in the comments down below. $17.99, 128 pages. Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. Both covers available the same day. $125, 1,160 pages. Collecting Ultimate X-Men 34 through 74. Annual numbers 1 and 2. Ultimate X-Men Fantastic Four number 1 and Ultimate Fantastic Four X-Men number 1. So Brian Michael Bendis takes over the book through this series, but we also get some Brian K. Vaughan. Was there an issue by Jeff Johns? I think there was an issue by Jeff Johns, just one. But this is after the Mark Miller run and before the Robert Kirkman run. Marvel Studios Black Panther Wakanda Forever, The Art of the Movie, $60 and 224 pages. It is a hardcover. Miles Morales Spider-Man by Cody Sigler, Volume 2, Bad Blood, coming out, collecting issues 8 through 12 of the 2022 relaunch. Invincible Iron Man by Jerry Duggan, Volume 2, The Wedding of Tony Stark and Emma Frost. I didn't get no invite. 152 pages and $19.99. So we've seen the buildup of this happening in the pages of not just X-Men, but also in Iron Man. And there is a reason why. From the world of DC Comics, 0 Hour Crisis in Time Omnibus 2023 edition. And collecting Action Comics 703, Adventures of Superman 516, Anima 7, Batman 511, Batman Shadow of the Bat 31, Catwoman 14, Damage 6, Dark Stars 24, Detective Comics 678, The Flash 0, N94, Green Arrow 90, Green Lantern number 0, and 55, Guy Gardner Warrior 24, Hawkman 13, Justice League 94, Justice League International 68, Justice League Task Force 16, Legion 9470, Legionnaires 18, Legion of Superheroes 61, Outsiders 11, Robin 11, Steel 8, Superboy 8, Superman 93, Man of Steel 37, Teen Titans 24, Valor 23, 0 Hour 4 through 0, because remember it was a countdown, and then stories from Showcase 94, 8 through 10. When I looked at the solicits, it seemed like it had a bigger page count, but this is the exact same material that was in the original printing. 1,096 pages, $175. Absolute The Dark Knight. This is the new printing for $125. Collecting Batman The Dark Knight Returns 1 through 4 and Batman The Dark Knight Strikes Again 1 through 4. 512 pages, $125. Frank Miller. Need I say more? Night Terrors, Nocturnal Creatures, coming out from DC Comics, collecting Night Terrors, Harley Quinn 1 and 2, Poison Ivy 1 and 2, Punchline 1 and 2, and Satana 1 and 2. That cover just did not look like a Night Terrors tie-in. Justice Society of America Volume 1, cannot wait for this freaking book. Jeff Johns, Mikhail Janin. It is a hardcover. Jordi Belair supplying the covers, or the colors. Justice Society of America 1 through 6 are what's collected in there. Cannot wait for that book. Big fan of Jeff Johns and the stuff he did on JSA. Ordinal Tempest is coming out that very same week as far as manga. That is a volume 1, and that is being published by the folks at Tokyo Pop Noir Caesar. This is by Marcus Quabena and John Lawrence and Chris Cradie. And we're also getting Blue Wolves of Mibu coming out that very same week in the world of manga, and that is being published by the folks over at Kodansha. Invisible Man and Soon-to-Be Wife Volume 3 is coming out that very same week, and the title should just sell you on the book. Tetsukomi Volume 2 is coming out in a trade paperback format. That's by the folks over at Magnetic Press. Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko Omnibus Volume 4. Big fan of this series. I just got around to reading Volume 1 at the beginning of the year. Oh my gosh, I'm so late to the party. I'm so glad that they restocked Volume 2, so if you missed out on Volume 2, please go and get it. Don't miss out on it. It is a wholesome series. I freaking love it. It's phenomenal. We're also getting the Healer for Shadow Hero Volume 1, and that is being published over by the folks at Steamship. Dude, where are your hands? Witches of Adamas Volume 7 is coming out. Keep it professional, Omar. Keep it professional. World's Fastest Level Up Volume 2 is coming out from 7 Seas Entertainment. And that is by Nagato Yamata and Atsushi Suzumi. And we're also getting My Name is Shingo, the Perfect Edition Volume 1, as well as Nude Model and Other Stories. I mean, here I am trying to keep it professional, and we got titles like that, but thank goodness the folks at Vertical were classy enough to just show me a back. Thank you all. All right, from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have The Whistleblowers, 4 Who Fought to Expose the Holocaust to America, by Raphael Midoff and Dean Moder. And there's a foreword by Mark Zaid. Looks like a powerful story. And we're also getting The Blood Oath by Alex Segura and Rob Hart. And this collects Blood Oath 1 through 5, $22.99, and 136 pages. It is a trade paperback. The Lonesome Hunters, The Wolf Child is coming out from Tyler Crook. Oh, I love his stuff. He's the gentleman that drew Harrow County for Cullen Bunn. Stuff is good, too. This collects The Lonesome Hunters, The Wolf Child 1 through 4. And from IDW, we're getting Earth Divers Volume 2, Ice Age. Stephen Grahams-Jones and Ricardo Burkelli, collecting Earth Divers 7 through 10. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting the Invincible Complete Library Volume 2. This is the new printing, collecting issues 25 through 47, $125, as well as the Invincible The Complete Library Hardcover Volume 5, collecting issues 97 to 120. This is the first printing, and it is limited to 5,000 copies. Radium Black Volume 5 is coming out, collecting Radium Black 25 A and B, 26 A and B, and 27 A and B stories. Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark, Marcelo Costa, and Eduardo Ferragato are the main creators behind that particular book. And I think this has now been pushed back, but it looks like from Boom Comics, the Ranger Academy has now been delayed until March. So let's just leave that alone and move on to other publishers. Like Alley Oop is coming out, and that is being published by the folks over at Manuscript Press. And this is Alley Oop and the Fountain of Youth. It is a trade paperback released in a landscape format. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Heart of a Hero picture book is coming out. Bardic Versus, coming in trade paperback format, and that is published by the Band of Bards. And Barking graphic novel is coming out that very same week from Avery Hill Publishing, as well as the Batman by Kelly Jones Gallery Edition. Now, it is the variant cover. This is $125, and it is one of those artist edition books. This is being published by Graffiti Designs. And Battle Action Special Hardcover Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. It's got a lot of great content creators in there. And that's by 2000 AD, Rebellion 2000 AD. And Betron de Jetatura is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Caliber Entertainment. Hometown, or that always reminds me of my buddy Chip, and that's where David Mack and people like Brian Michael Bendis started out. Black Demon Tales Volume 1, The Emergence is coming out, published by Scout Comics, and I thought it was one of those Carthago books. And we're also getting Commando Presents Volume 1, Commandos vs. Zombies. Dude, that sounds awesome. And that is being published by DC Thompson. We're getting the Dead Man by Kelly Jones Gallery variant edition. So this is the variant edition of the Dead Man art book, or the artist edition of that book. Also published by the folks at Graffiti Books. And we're getting the D&D Dogos? D&D Dogos. D&D Dogos. Let's go with that. Hardcover Volume 1, Get the Party Started. And it's also coming out in a trade paperback. Doctor Who, trade paperback from Panini UK. The Liberation of the Daleks is coming out that very same week. Gargoyles is coming out in trade paperback and in softcover format. I'm triple checking because I know we've seen this before. We've seen it coming out in November, but it looks like it's been delayed, and I'm going to triple check because as far as I know, we still have it in the catalog coming out that week, the last week of July, jumping the gun here, the last week of February. Golden Age Classics Doll Man is coming out. This is the softie, so it is a softcover format, but $32.99. And then the Golden Age Fight Comics featuring Tiger Girl, hardcover volume 1. And that is $52.99, and it's also available in a softcover for $32.99, and then a slipcase for $62.99. Gray hardcover volume 2 with a beautiful cover coming out from Clover Press. Heatseeker Gun Honey series trade paperback volume 1, that art germ cover. Woo! That's pretty good. Hobbit. Oh, this is the Morrow edition. So this is an adaptation of Tolkien's Hobbit in comic book format in 1990. This is the David Wenzel comic book adaptation. And I don't know if it's been in print or not in the last year. I remember when that came out. And we're also getting Hound in a graphic novel format. And that is by Mad Cave Studios, by Sam Freeman and Sam Rosenberg and Rodrigo Vasquez. And I'm so glad we had this time together. This seems like a really powerful read about a son and a relationship with his family in this town, in this small little town, and just coming out. And it's in Toronto. I think it's based in Toronto in the 80s. Pantheon Books is the publisher on that particular story. Kabumpo in Oz is coming out in a hardcover format. And that is being published by the folks over at Clover Press. And Kitten Ninja. Come on, what else do I need to say and show? It's adorable. Who wouldn't want that? Lead City is coming out in a trade paperback format from Red 5 Publishing, or Red 5 Comics, and this is a reprint. Life of a Stepdad is coming out. Oh, it's a Stegosaurus. I get it. Okay. From Scout Comics. Very nice. Minecraft Misadventures of Friggle and Fluffy, volumes 1 through 5 is coming out in a box set for all the people needing their kids to be reading books. Mountains of Madness, the deluxe edition, is coming out in a hardcover format, being published by Blue Fox Comics. And that one is by Adam Fida. He's both writing and drawing that adaptation. Northern Blood is coming out in a hardcover format and in a trade paperback format. And then we're also getting N-Word of God. That is being published by the folks over at Fantagraphics. And it looks like this is by Mark Dukes. The striking art combines Christian iconography with caricatures and terms that have been used against black people, through which Dukes artfully recontextualizes them as religious symbols of resilience, protection, and counter-truth. Wow, that seems like a powerful book. Pre-Code Classics Tales of Horror is coming out in a softcover format. So these are called softies, by the way. And we're also getting that very same week, The Prisoners of Secret Overlords, and that is a trade paperback. And that's coming out from the folks at Goodman Games. And we're also getting the Project MK Ultra, the complete edition hardcover by Brandon Beckner and Scott Sampila. And this one is $59.99. This is now being published by the folks at Clover Press. Red Room Crypto Killas is coming out. It's Ed Pisker's new book. And we're also getting the Return to Eden in a hardcover format. And that is being published by the folks at Fantagraphics. Silver Age Classic Strange Suspense Stories hardcover volume 8 is coming out that week in a hardcover and in a slipcase edition. And The Inspectors is coming out in a trade paperback comic format from the folks at Blue Fox Comics. Tiku is coming. This looks really interesting. This is from the folks at Living the Line. It's by Kuti Kuti. So let me read you the description. This is visions of Nordic introspectiveness, occult pocket watches, suburban drifting, untamed forest, and butterfly appreciation all come together in a sticky weave of cutting-edge Finnish comic storytelling. Tiku is a joint work by 12 artists and the first part in a series. Kuti Kuti is an association of collective about 60 contemporary comic. Oh my gosh. This one is $20 and I cannot wait. It's an anthology. Oh, you had me there. Traveling to Mars is coming out in a trade paperback format from Blaze Studios, as well as the Valiant Classics, the collected edition Ninjak, the Seventh Dragon. And this is one that's going to be published by Alien Books, but still under the Valiant label. So collecting Ninjak, the 1994 series with artwork by Joe Quesada for a few issues. 1 through 8, Bloodshot 6 through 7, and then Secret Weapons number 5. This is coming out in a trade paperback format for $29.99. And last but not least is Walt Disney's Mickey and Donald hardcover format Mickey's Craziest Adventure. And yes, it was. It was freaking awesome. Now, if you live in America and you're interested in purchasing any of these books, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the collected editions for the month of February of 2024. Let me know in the comments down below which books you are picking up from this list, what you're most excited for, what you're hoping to see a future volume of later on. Check out our Patreon if you want the written documentation again, and big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without y'all. That is it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.